Welcome explorers, I'm Alistair and this is the Highland Hikers. Thanks for joining me again today. I have found myself in the picturesque town of Peebles this weekend, and I'm going to go for a nice short walk, roughly about 6 kilometres, which takes me along the banks of the river, where we're going to see Neidpath Castle, almost 200-year-old viaduct, and lastly, and hopefully we might get to see inside an old abandoned railway tunnel as well. So the start of this walk is from a nice big car park on the south side of the river, just over the main bridge in the centre of Peebles. Parking there is free and plentiful. From there we went over the bridge, right underneath the main church, and just as we got there the bells started ringing. It's quite a nice pleasant sound in the morning. And now from there, walking along the side of the river, and the sun is just starting to kind of come up, and it's already looking beautiful. So after a short walk and leaving the town of Peebles, you quickly come to Neidpath Castle, which sits right up in this kind of big rock just at the side of the river here, and it looks brilliant from as you're coming round. It just reveals itself. It's beautiful. So it's not a ruin, but it is well maintained. I think you can have your wedding in here if you wanted as well. But a castle has been on this site since roughly about the 12th century, so it's, you know, really old. I'm not entirely sure how old this structure is itself, but even you can see, even though it's maintained, there's still a wee bit of ruin up there in the corner. So as you kind of meander down the side of the river, turn another corner and you get to see the Queen's Bridge, which is a viaduct, or sorry, a railway viaduct built back in the 1860s and serviced the Scottish kind of Borders Railway. So the railway line closed in the mid-1950s, kind of cutting off Peebles to the railway network. This line connected into the main line, which is still running just west of Biggar, and it went all the way through to Gala Shields, and just at the other side of the viaduct, way over in that kind of corner over there, is the start of the tunnel, which takes you through almost to Peebles. So we're going to walk further down the river, cross back over, have a wee look at a viewpoint, and then have a peek inside that dark tunnel. After leaving the viaduct behind, you follow the old railway line south along the side of the river until you come to this road where you have to start walking along and cross back over the river. So just be careful, there is traffic on it. We've already seen one car coming along. Then once you've crossed over the river, you are going to head basically back up north along another road to a viewpoint over Peebles. So from that viewpoint we've come up over the hill, through the woods, and if we were going to continue this route as normal, we'd basically be heading along this way. However, we are going to go in a different way, and we're going to head down to that dark, foreboding tunnel there and have a look and see what it's like. So I'm a good portion of the way down a tunnel now, and it's absolutely pitch black at one point because there's a big turn in it. But once you get around that, you can see the other end. If you are thinking about coming down here and having a look at this, definitely bring a torch if you're a wee bit on the scared side. But it's perfectly safe. It's open to the public for walking through, and we've met a few people coming through as well. But it's quite different from anything else that you can kind of experience. There's no lights inside, all the old railway line and the sleepers are all gone, so you've just pretty much got the ballast of the old track bed just left, and you can just walk through it. It's brilliant. So regardless of whether you go through the tunnel or not, you're going to want to follow the old railway line, as it basically takes a straight line back into Peebles and pretty much back to the start. So I think this is a perfect place to end. We've got the kind of end of Peebles, kind of this big park that's on the kind of west side that you walk through at the beginning. It's just behind me, so I'm going to bring this one to an end here. It's been a very, very pleasant and enjoyable walk, and always love to see old things like old viaducts and especially old railway tunnels. You don't get to do something like that very often. So, you know, make the most of it whilst it's there and available. So if you have enjoyed the video, give us a wee thumbs up, consider subscribing, and we shall see you for our next walk.